Hello everyone. Today I want to talk to you about anxiety's defense mechanism. We become so anxious when we are out of control of things, when there is some outcome that is unknown to us. We don't know how an event is going to unfold, what's going to happen. Is this person going to stay with me? Is this relationship going to last? Is it not? Am I going to get that job? Am I not? Am I going to get accepted into that college or won't I? These are the situations that really rise our anxiety. So when there's something we don't know, when there's something we can't control, we tend to get anxious. This, some have tied into the survival of the fittest philosophy, that we want to know. It's the ultimate difficulty of human beings. If you look at the Adam and Eve time, what was the greatest sin? They wanted knowledge. So they ate from the tree of knowledge. So this has been legend in the history of man, that we seek understanding, we seek knowledge, and we want to know, because when we know, we feel safe. When we know where the enemy tribe is, we feel safe. When we know where the dangerous animal or snake or environmental situation is, we feel safe. So we're motivated to want to feel safe, secure, and to know all is well. Therefore, when we don't know that we're safe, when we don't know that all is well, it puts us into high drive. We become hyper vigilant about situations in our life. Our mind starts getting all these worry thoughts about what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. Is this possible? Is this not possible? So I want to tell you what our brain does when that happens. We have an out of control situation or an unknown situation. This rises our anxiety. So to calm our anxiety, to decrease our anxiety, we will tell our brain that we know the unknown, that we can control the uncontrollable. And how we do this is to predict the worst case event. I can't get that job. They won't hire me. That relationship's not going to last. They're going to leave me. I can't get into that college. I'll never get accepted into that. Now, when we make those predictions, we are believing that we know the conclusion, that we know what's going to happen. Therefore, our anxiety goes down. But it's somewhat backwards, right? I mean, this is emotional dyslexia, what I call. We're predicting a worst case scenario that we're dreading, that we don't want to happen in our life, and we're saying, yep, that's going to happen. By doing that, we can go through all the grief, the pain, the emotion right now, and we don't have to sit with the anticipated anxiety that it might not happen, that that person might leave us, that we might not get into that college. That anticipation of that fear is so great. It's harder to live with that for us than it is to live with the I know that this worst case scenario is happening right now. This is how we defend our emotions. This is how we guard from the stuff that we're wanting to avoid. But the unfortunate part is that it creates that which we want to avoid. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It becomes the action that we take to support that conclusion. If I think that someone's going to leave me, then I'm going to behave accordingly. I might get paranoid. I might get angry. I might withdraw from that person, not respond to that person, and they're not going to understand why that's happening. Why are you acting this way? Everything's good. And you're thinking, no, it's not. I know it's not. Be honest with me. And then they think you're paranoid, you're upset, and ultimately they go, okay, this just isn't going to work. We're going to end this relationship. That's how our beliefs impact our feelings, and our feelings will impact our behavior, and ultimately shows up in our life in the very way that we don't want it to show up in our life. So what is the solution? The solution is to learn to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Is to learn to be okay with that which we can't control. with the things we can't change. We have to get really clear about what is in our control and what is out of our control, what we can change and what we can't change. This is the serenity prayer. But they're so wise for all of us, and we all need to be saying the serenity prayer. Help me to change the things I can. Give me the courage to accept the things I cannot change and the wisdom to know the difference, because we need that wisdom. We need that discernment. So when you're in a situation that you cannot control, that you don't know the outcome, that you don't know what people are thinking, what they're doing, what's going to happen, reassure yourself that you're just not going to know and that you can live with the unknown. Perhaps you need a plan. Perhaps you need a backup plan. If I don't get that job, what's plan B? If I don't go into that college, what's plan B? Have a backup plan. If this relationship may not last, then have the hope and the dream for the relationship, but guard your mind from attaching to the dream so that when it doesn't happen, you are not globalizing that experience. See? I'm never going to have a relationship. It's never going to happen in my life. That's globalizing. That's personalizing. Instead, saying, well, I'm still learning about this relationship. It might work. It might not work, but it just takes time to figure that out. One technique that can be really helpful is tapping. And there's lots of videos on YouTube about how to do tapping, and we can talk about that more in the future. For right now, I wanted to introduce to you the philosophy on why we sabotage ourselves, why we presume to know the things we don't know, that we presume we can control the things we cannot control, that in a very deep way, we're actually trying to protect ourselves. But ultimately, it's not serving us. So let your thoughts just be thoughts, your feelings just be feelings. Do what you need to do, that you can do, but at the same time, learn to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, to radically accept that I cannot change, I cannot control these things that I so desperately want to, and use techniques to help you reduce your anxiety in a healthy, effective way. So I hope that's helpful to you. Blessings, my friend. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.